Okay, so something that is not a bad idea is to start, with this chart, I started with blues. I always start with blue, but actually starting with your lightest and warmer colors can be a good strategy, because they're the ones that really, any trace of, say, blue on my brush or red on my brush can very quickly change the color. So if I really want to see just the color straight from the tube, starting with the yellows is not a bad idea. So here's my cadmium yellow lemon, and I'm going to do a more diluted wash. I'm thinking there's probably still some blue on my brush. Maybe. Okay, well, okay, that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna test out the cadmium yellow deep. All right, so nice and orange. And again, make sure your palette is super clean when you're mixing, especially, say, oranges and you're using yellows. Okay, I'm gonna do my swatch of, oh, look at that color. Ooh. Okay, dilute it more, gonna blot it, and there we go. This is a cadmium, or both yellows are cadmium, so I'm gonna make sure I wash my hands really well after I'm wiping my palette clean. Not gonna eat or drink while I'm doing this. So I've got my drinking water set on the counter where I have to stand up and walk over, and I can't accidentally pick up the wrong cup. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen once. So I know in however many years, 15 years or whatever of teaching, but if you're paying lots of attention to one thing, like you're immersed in your painting or you're chatting with somebody and just, grabbing a swig of water, you don't want to grab the wrong cup. So, yeah, again, just keep it all separate. Okay, green gold. Oh my gosh, I love green gold. I haven't used this pigment in a long time, and I'm so excited to have it again. All right, so we'll do I think I'm gonna work that paint a little more. And then I'll dilute more. Oh, it's just so brilliant. Okay, do my diluted swatch. It's really a nice yellow. Okay. All right, getting to my reds. I've got a few to try. Probably I should change up my water soon. That's all right. All right, I'm gonna start with the warmer red, the pyrrole red. It's pretty brilliant red. It's gonna make some nice oranges. All right, full strength. Dilute it. Again, this chart, design it however you want, whatever you think will be useful to you. I've done a lot of these over the years, and I'd say at least, oh, how'd that happen? Okay, yeah, just take your time, don't try to do two things at once, and just, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the thing. I have to remind myself of that. Artist tendencies, I guess. I don't know. So, all right, this is the cooler, the more magenta red. But again, this is a really nice opportunity to get the feel for your materials. And watch out for paint splatters. Okay. There we go. The color chart can be a nice way to just ease into painting. Watercolors can be a little intimidating. I was intimidated by them for a long time. And over time, you just, you dive in, you start working, learn some techniques, but sometimes you just need to experiment with them and not get too caught up in the techniques. Okay, I am really got to watch myself because I am splattering all over the place. All right. I'm just getting ready to try my neutrals out, and this one, I've already opened it, but I had to get pliers to open it up, so just maybe a good idea to test it out in the store, make sure the lid comes off. Oof. Okay, so I got my neutrals, and we're gonna add to this chart. Whoop. Oh, that's okay. All right, there we go. Running out of room. Have a large palette or have multiple small palettes handy. Otherwise, you're going to be wiping your palette a whole lot and running out of room. Okay. What is this one? Burnt umber. All right. Last is the Payne's gray, kind of a bluish gray. Dilute it. Okay, so I'm gonna label all of my, color swatches. Ultramarine Deep. I could put the brand. It's useful to have the brand. I might just write it at the top since they're all the same. But if you have a mixture of, or an assortment, oops. An assortment of brands, good to notate what they are because there are slight differences even with the same pigment from brand to brand.